Morning Report for today, Tuesday, April 25th. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. In our top story at this time, an international expert on oceans has been putting a positive spin on climate change in the area of fishing. The U.S. Undersecretary of Commerce for Oceans and Atmosphere, Dr. Ricardo Spinrud, notes species of fish and crustaceans are being found in areas which are not their usual geographical habitat. He explains that is why lionfish being found in Barbadian waters. However, rather than complain, we should make it work for us. Dr. Spinrud, who was the recent guest of the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology for a special lecture on climate change, says other countries have been forced to adapt as well.
When I was in Alaska, I went to a fish processing plant in Nome, Alaska. That fish processing plant is set up for halibut, salmon, and crab. Literally set up. Their equipment is set up for that. When I went up there, on their pier, they had 300 pounds of Pacific cod. Lionfish, right? Who would have thunk? These things are going to happen. But we're dealing with some issues with lobster fishing as it impacts North Atlantic right whales. And I met with one of the senators from the state of Maine, and I said to him, you know, if we just don't deal with this issue now, we won't have to deal with it in 5 years because there won't be any more lobsters in the Gulf of Maine. And the fact that Alaskan pollock are now Russian pollock, these things are happening. These things are happening. Sargassum is an example. I'm not suggesting that there's a silver lining to all of this. What I am suggesting, however, is that if we as scientists really do our jobs, collect all these data, develop the predictive capability to get out in front of these changes, we can actually benefit and prosper from the changes. So I am an avowed climate realist, which means there's an element of optimism.
As another result of climate change, Dr. Spinrud is cautioning that more sargassum will reach Barbados in the coming weeks. He's encouraging the use of technology and systems to help Barbados locate that type of climate change phenomenon in order to deal with it. The administrator, who's also the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, says while there will be lots more of it in the coming weeks, within a few years, there will be another change, and the formation of the Sargassum Information Hub has been a major step in finding answers.
Everything you want to know about sargassum, it's like, you know, this is the number you call, this is where you go. If you don't even know what sargassum is, where do you start? If you are a sophisticated user and want to know what's the intensity level, what can I expect over the next weeks or months? Where's it going to be strongest? What's causing it to show up like this? Now, this gives you the information you need to know about where it's going to appear, why it might appear there. There's a deeper question here, of course, and that is, what's really going on? How much of this is a climate signal or not? But again, this is, I mean, we've had sargassum inundations in the past, but this is one of those things that we've got to be prepared to be able to do as we see these changes, as we see consequences of climate change impacting things in ways that we may not have expected. I guarantee you that here in Barbados, in 10 years, we'll be talking about different issues.
Coming up on the Morning Report, Russia warns the world is in a worse place than during the 44-year Cold War. That's next.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get
Russian Foreign Secretary Sergei Lavrov has told the United Nations Security Council that the world has become a more dangerous place than during the Cold War. Lavrov led a meeting on multilateralism and the founding of the UN Charter yesterday, as Russia held the monthly rotating presidency of the Security Council.
This is the Russian presidency of the United Nations. This is one of their signature events. They've called a debate of the Security Council about the UN Charter and defence of the UN Charter. Now that has been attacked by many other diplomats who say it's very cynical because they say Russia is the one that's violating the UN Charter with its invasion of Ukraine. It's worth telling you that around the Security Council today, yes, Foreign Minister Lavrov is chairing this meeting at Foreign Minister level, but most other countries have not sent ministers. The only three that have are the United Arab Emirates, Gabon and Ghana. They've sent deputy foreign ministers. The rest are just ambassadors. So that, I think, is a snub to the Russian presidency and to Mr. Lavrov, and I think a deliberate snub from those nations. And this Security Council meeting will continue for some hours because there's a lot of speakers on the list to speak, but at the same time Mr. Lavrov will be nipping out of that meeting and his ambassador will be taking the seat because he has an important meeting with the UN Secretary General, and I think the key focus of that will be the Black Sea Grain Initiative, which Russia is sounding like it doesn't want to continue. It's certainly saying that it's not getting any benefit from that. In fact, I spoke to the Russian Deputy Foreign Minister a few days ago and he sounded very negative about the idea of Russia renewing that agreement. Of course, humanitarian agencies, the World Food Programme and others say that if that was to stop, then it would mean the grain that's coming out of Ukraine would stop completely, and that would make the world food crisis so much worse.
In more news from around the world, the United States is reporting that the warring factions in Sudan have agreed to a 72-hour ceasefire while Western Arab and Asian nations race to extract their citizens from the country. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says the truce deal follows 2 days of intense negotiations and will begin today. The two sides have not abided by several temporary truce deals over the past week.
More deaths in Sudan's capital, Khartoum. Several people were killed in an airstrike in the southern city of Kalakla on Monday, adding to the growing number of civilian deaths. The Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF, is accusing the army of directly targeting civilians. But the army says the RSF troops are hiding in civilian areas and using people as human shields. And after nearly 2 weeks of fighting, the RSF field commanders say their troops control areas in the southeast of the capital. The battle has intensified around Khartoum airport, and the fight for information has become just as crucial. Here, the RSF says it maintains its presence.
To all those listening to any false rumors that RSF are in control of the General Command or the airport, we are now inside both facilities.
But Sudan's army denies giving up power.
As you can see from the green square, up to this point, there is nothing but the army personnel. They're now combing the area for RSF fighters.
The army released video of what it says are Rapid Support Forces fighters surrendering in Al-Fashaga Al-Sughra in the southeast, and the general meeting troops in the main command of the army in Khartoum. The conflict has led to a major humanitarian crisis. Millions of people in the capital are trapped in their homes with power outages, no running water, and lack of food. The chaos has spread to state prisons, where hundreds of inmates from Kober National Prison have escaped. Others from Soba Prison were captured by RSF troops. While the fighting rages on, those who can are trying to flee. Several countries, including Italy, France, Germany, and Jordan, are the latest to pull out their diplomatic staff and foreign nationals. With no one to rescue them, Sudanese civilians are taking matters into their own hands to find safety. Some traveling by bus to cross into Egypt.
Getting out of Khartoum was definitely the most difficult part of this entire journey. Having to go through these checkpoints where you don't know whether you're going to be robbed or killed, or just holding my mother's hands, looking into my grandma's eyes, just all holding each other's hands and praying that it all goes smoothly.
But many still remain behind. Some say they can't afford to leave now because of fuel and transport costs. Online banking operations have stopped and banks have been closed since the start of the fighting. And with a breakdown in telecommunications, many say they no longer know which routes out of Khartoum are safe. There have been more international and regional calls for mediation. Ethiopia's Prime Minister is appealing for both sides to talk.
I ask my brother Al-Burhan and my brother Hamidti to stop the fighting immediately and adopt dialogue.
But the two warring sides appear determined to fight on, despite a deteriorating humanitarian situation.
Time to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. Again, this morning we will have the Faculty of Medical Sciences. They'll be joined at some point by the Faculty of Law, sharing for their open weeks over at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus. Also, we'll tell you about a fundraising concert that's raising funds for a very worthy cause. Maya Daniel and Michelle Wiggins, gospel artists, will be in to talk to us about that. And which church in the north is doing PSA testing this weekend? We're going to tell you exactly who. That's all coming up on Morning Barbados. But right now, we're going to have more news, sports, and weather coming up after this break.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan.
Prime Minister Mir Amor Motley is set to meet with United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and key stakeholders on the Bridgetown agenda. Prime Minister Motley will be traveling to the United States and will be out of the country till the 27th. During her trip, she will also meet with the Prime Minister of Canada and co-chair of the Sustainable Development Goals advocate Justin Trudeau, as well as members of the United States Congress on Capitol Hill. Deputy Prime Minister Santia Bradshaw is acting as Prime Minister while Ms. Motley is overseas. The City of Bridgetown Cooperative Credit Union Limited is in the final stages of its recovery, more than 2 months after it was hit by hackers. CEO Steve Bell says they were relaunching their digital services like mobile and internet banking on their new and improved platform shortly. He says this is being done after their systems were hardened against cyber attacks and thoroughly reviewed by the Central Bank of Barbados. The credit union suffered what it called a cyber incident on February 14th. For several weeks afterwards, customers could only access their accounts by going into the credit union. Debit card functionality was subsequently restored, but online services remained unavailable. Mr. Bell says that is about to change.
The thing about these processes is that it takes a while because of the process you have to go through. Not only in terms of ensuring that when you bring back the system, you bring back them in a safe and secure way, you bring that system out of them, but also in terms of getting the regulatory authorities to be sure that you've addressed all the concerns. So before we were allowed back on to any payment platforms, we had to prove to the Central Bank of Barbados that everything was indeed fine. And you know that the Central Bank of Barbados is not going to literally just allow you to come back platform until they have taken you through a detailed process. They have analyzed all the reports, asked your consultants and yourself all the questions that need to have so that they will be confident that when you're let back on, there's not a problem.
Mr. Bell assures none of its members' money or data was lost during the incident.
No. There was no compromise of any of our members' data at all in the process. So our members can feel free, be confident and comfortable to know that nothing has been affected in terms of their data, whether it be their monies or their information.
Meanwhile, cybersecurity expert Edward Millington says 2 months isn't that long a wait for all systems to be a go again.
The main process is really involved in trying to determine that the adversary is still not in the environment. And in the COB particular case, or any company, they want to make sure that as they come back online, that they do not suffer an attack again. And in some cases, it can even be more detrimental, especially sometimes for third parties, in this case, any connecting parties, etc. So the main focus is to make sure that you are coming back up safe and all systems are now in a different posture to resist any form of cyber attack or the previous cyber attack from before.
Mr. Millington also notes all businesses must be careful as hacking remains an ever-present threat.
We must have those cyber resilient programs being developed. And when we say cyber resilient, it goes a little bit beyond cybersecurity in the sense that in case something happens, the business can still operate. And I believe COB has done a very good job from that aspect because it did not hit other parts in the network. So persons are still able to have access to the money and so forth. So it is going to be very important that businesses understand that we all are at risk and we need to make sure the necessary programs are in place.
Former Sustainable Development Minister in St. Lucia, James Fletcher, has highlighted the need for that country to leverage its indigenous resources to meet its national development goals. Dr. Fletcher was one of the panelists at the St. Lucia edition of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's 40th anniversary lecture series. The title of the lecture was Powering a Modern St. Lucia Green and Purple Economy. DBS Television has more.
Like many small island developing states, St. Lucia is caught in a high debt, low growth, high unemployment trap, observes former Minister for Sustainable Development James Fletcher. Speaking on DBS Television on Thursday evening, the Sustainable Development Advocate explored ways the country can get out of this quagmire. He highlighted a green economy scoping study done in 2016, which recommended that green tourism be acknowledged and mainstreamed by the government as a crucial part of its drive towards sustainability. As the island's economic mainstay, Fletcher pointed out that tourism must make more prudent use of scarce resources.
The tourism industry uses energy quite a bit, and moving to renewable energy using solar photovoltaic panels is another area that the tourism industry can move towards. Working with nature, not against it. Unfortunately, in all of our countries, this is Barbados, but St. Lucia is very much the same. We put our hotels right on the beach, the same places where we know will be inundated with sea level rise, with storm surges. There must be a greater symbiosis between the tourism industry and nature, because that's what the tourists come to St. Lucia for, and to many of our other islands, to see how nature, how we, the pristine beauty of our country.
Fletcher says the country must also take a radically different approach to agriculture. It is time, he says, to move on from bananas, which once contributed a significant portion to the island's GDP.
We also have to look at eco-business. If you were to go to Whole Foods in the US, Holland & Barrett in the UK, the products you see on their shelves are products, high-value products that we produce in St. Lucia. Soursop, powerful anti-carcinogen. Turmeric and ginger, powerful anti-inflammatories. Kokom Koulé, that's being packaged and sold. Whole Foods, Holland & Barrett, GNC. Why are we not doing that? Why are they the ones maximizing benefit from products that we are growing?
According to Fletcher, the country needs to expand its use of renewable energy. Investing in renewable energy, he says, will increase the country's competitiveness in all sectors.
News this morning that the judiciary in Bahamas has taken another step in modernizing the way judges and magistrates hear cases with the launch of the digital court reporting system. The use of the modern platform allows speech to be translated to text, doing away with judges having to take notes during hearings, arraignments, or trials. We hear more from their Our News.
Chief Justice Sir Ian Winder says the system will not replace court reporters but enhance the process.
It is a tool to supplement what is clearly a massive shortfall in meeting the current needs of the judiciary as it relates to obtaining proper records of our proceedings.
The Chief Justice says accurate recordings of proceedings ought to be a right and not a matter of chance. He says the new system will also help in addressing the age-old problem of backlogs in the court system.
The presence of the transcript means the case will move considerably quicker. So imagine a magistrate taking hand notes. Every time the witness says about a sentence or so, she has to stop, or he has to stop and record it. There'll be a free flow now, so the witness will just give their evidence as freely as it's given. So you're probably going to cut down the time a witness takes to give evidence by maybe even a third.
The initiative comes from a partnership with the Bahamas and the United States Embassy. International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs Director in the U.S. Embassy, Bridget Premont.
Congratulations on establishing a model for the region. It's really amazing news, particularly given the enormous workload that I know all of you are facing. You did it in short time and during COVID.
Former Chief Justice, now Court of Appeal Justice Sir Brian Murray says the system will have a transformative impact on court proceedings. He called it an excellent example of what can be achieved through strategic partnerships.
Belize's Minister of Home Affairs, Kareem Musa, says clandestine airstrips are a problem for the country's police force. Since reports of a drug plane landing there last week, law enforcement officials have uncovered several airstrips believed to be the benefit of narco planes.
That is, of course, a concern. I cannot confirm that it is 25 clandestine airstrips. I do know that the BDF and the police department are doing a constant monitoring of the south in particular. But whenever it is discovered that a clandestine airstrip exists, the BDF goes in and dismantles that particular airstrip. So we are dealing with it as it takes place. I think just last week there was one destroyed in Santa Teresa, if I'm not mistaken, in the Toledo district.
Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit will be meeting with school principals concerning a suggestion he made at a recently concluded symposium on crime and violence in the region, which was held in Trinidad and Tobago. At the event, he argued education reform is important in the fight against crime. He pointed out that the education system should not only concentrate on students just passing exams, but also on their development.
I advocated for a comprehensive review of the education system across the region to allow for a greater focus on the overall well-being and welfare of our children. I am happy that my proposal found favor with all heads and indeed all participants at the symposium. Traditionally, we have focused heavily on the academic performance of our children, without taking into account the diverse backgrounds and social and economic circumstances, so that we could better understand their behaviors and cater to their special needs. This narrow focus on academics can lead us to neglect essential life skills, emotional intelligence, social development, all of which are crucial for the development of well-rounded individuals who can positively contribute to our society. I continue to call on all stakeholders, parents, guardians, the clergy, and the business community to take responsibility for the care and support of our children.
As we continue to make our rounds across the region, we hear that Jane Owen has been sworn in as the new governor of the Cayman Islands. The new UK representative has committed to supporting the British territory as well as representing Britain's interests during her time. We have a report.
After the warrant of appointment by His Majesty King Charles III being read by then acting Governor Mr. Franz Manderson, the oath of allegiance and oath for due execution of office was then administered by Chief Justice, the Honorable Margaret Ramsey Hale. Then there were speeches which started with Premier the Honorable Wayne Panton, and Her Excellency then made her reply.
I'm determined to ensure that our UK-Cayman relationship continues to grow and continues to bring benefits for both sides. In this world in which we live, faced with geopolitical shifts, threats to the freedoms we cherish, and the galloping pace of new technology, it is good to have firm friendships and mutual support. In working on this agenda with all of you, I will always respect the boundaries of the Constitution, while being open to sharing expertise and experience from the United Kingdom where this can add value here in Cayman.
U.S. President Joe Biden is widely expected to announce his re-election bid this week as early as today. Biden, who defeated Donald Trump in the 2020 election, has consistently expressed his intention to run again in 2024 and is considered to be the presumptive Democratic nominee.
He's already the oldest president in U.S. history, but he's brushed aside concerns about his fitness for a second term. And Biden is expected to name senior White House advisor Julie Chavez-Rodriguez to oversee his campaign. Our White House correspondent, Kimberly Hackett, has more.
First of all, what it signals is that there are a few vulnerabilities that the White House has identified for Joe Biden in his re-election effort that they want to zero in on, and namely the fact that this is potentially where voters could lean towards Republicans, could go to a third party, or even not vote at all. And that in a razor-thin margin type election could really be doom for the
An update of sports. There were mixed fortunes for Team Barbados as they started their campaign yesterday at the Pan American Surfing Games in Santa Catalina, Panama. Kai St. George advanced to round 2 of the boys' longboard competition when he finished second in Heat 10 with a heat total of 9 points. However, Jacob Burke did not advance out of the first round after he was third in Heat 3 with a score of 8.5 points. Kai will surf in round 2 on Thursday. Meanwhile, Chelsea Rowett and Chelsea Tuak will compete in the opening round of the women's shortboard competition today. Rowett goes in Heat 12, scheduled for 11:40 this morning, and Tuak at 5:20 this evening. After the 7th and 8th rounds of the Henderson Lane Memorial Draft Tournament, Jack Francis has taken over the lead from Trevor Howell. Playing at the Reuben Yami Draft Center in Lodge Road, Christchurch, Francis now leads with 23 points. Former world champion Ronald Suki King is also on 23 points, but Francis is leading via honor points over King. Howell is now in third spot with 22 points. Ryan Eustace and Julian Burgess round up the top 5, with both having 18 points for each. Round 9 will be contested on Thursday, with the 10th and final round set for Sunday. It's time now to take a look at weather. The barometric pressure stands at 1011 millibars. It's 25.3 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity stands at 87%, and the winds are blowing out of the northeast at 13 kilometers per hour. Sea conditions all across Barbados calm to smooth in open water with northerly swells ranging from 0.5 to 1 meters and increasing. Your high tide will come around at, well, it's gone for the first one, the second one at 2027. The second low is coming at 143. It's going to be mostly cloudy with breaks of sunshine today, with the occasional brief isolated moderate to heavy showers, mainly over western and northwestern districts. And later this evening, you can expect similar conditions. It will be mostly cloudy with clear breaks, with occasional brief scattered light to moderate showers. Here's a look at a few select international cities, ranging from a low of 4 in Toronto to a high of 12 in Frankfurt and 24 degrees in Miami. Well, that's it for today's morning report. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 p.m. on TV8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. It's time now for Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
It's Tuesday, April 25th. Good to have you this morning with us on Morning Barbados. Time for another presentation. And of course, we have to say a very special good morning to those of you heading back out to school today. It's been a long time. I feel like this Easter holiday was a little longer than the ones I used to get when I went to school. You'd have to tell me if you agree. So we have a great show planned for you. We're going to continue today to tell you all about what's happening over at the Capel campus of the University of the West Indies, as we see two faculties showcasing what they have to offer via their open weeks. So this morning we are going to have the Faculty of Medical Sciences back with us. And representing that faculty today, Dr. Heather Harewood, a lecturer and program coordinator for the Masters in Public Health. She will be here, as well as Dr. Wendy Seeley, a lecturer and coordinator for postgraduate programs in nursing. And we're taking a look at the taught master's and diploma degrees and all that's available in that faculty as we look to all the things we need to do to get ourselves ready for this world. So upskilling, furthering your education, whatever it is you need to do, we are definitely sharing that. And then of course we're going to have the Faculty of Law coming through. We're going to tell you exactly who will be here shortly with them. But we also are going to be talking about a fundraising concert called In His Embrace, Our Everlasting Hero. Maya Daniel and Michelle Wiggins, who are both gospel artists, they're going to be here to tell us why they are raising funds for a very worthy cause and let you know how you can get involved. And speaking of fundraising, the Lions Club of Christchurch West will be here to tell us all about a celebrity cricket match, and Lion Maricela Marshall will be here, as well as Lion Alison Bishop Payne. They're going to be talking about why they are having this celebrity match, where it will be, and how you can get involved. You know, these days we have to work hard to help those of us who can't help themselves. So it's important that we get involved in the third sector and philanthropy. We're also going to talk about the Bennett's Temple United Holy Church, and they're doing something very special this weekend. They're located in Pike Corner, St. Lucie. You know, I have a special love for St. Lucie. So they're telling us all about a special event that they have at the church in collaboration with Cancer Support Services, showing how churches are continuing to make their mark across communities in Barbados, and most certainly taking care of the health of their congregations. Plus, there's a book giveaway. So If you've been watching last week and all this week, well, just yesterday so far, we usually have the next chapter, which is about a book. So I certainly hope you've been paying attention, because you're going to get an opportunity to win a book. Plus, we continue to tell you all about the Mom's Proud Moment promotion, which we're running for Mornin Barbados. You have until the 25th to get your entries in for that. So we're going to remind you of how you can compete in that competition. But right now, let's head back and invite our good friends from the Faculty of Law to come on through and share with us as we look to the Faculty of Law's plans for the next academic year and so much more. Professor Eddie Ventos, Dean, Faculty of Law, UWI-Phil, is joining us to talk a little bit more about the faculty. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Barbados, and good morning, the Eastern Caribbean.
All right, always good to have you with us. Now, if I go back to my days on the campus, I think the most interest I had in the law faculty was when there was the barely legal event, but we shan't talk about that right now. So let's talk a little bit about the Faculty of Law generally and what you offer to your students. What's it like being in the Faculty of Law at UWI-Phil?
The Faculty of Law is exciting. The Faculty of Law recently celebrated its 50th anniversary. Under the theme Celebrating Excellence in Western Legal Education and Research. The faculty has been around for 50 years, and distinguished judges, alumni have graced our awards, and we're quite happy for that. In terms of the undergraduate programs in the Faculty of Law, of course, our flagship program, the LLB program, offers the students an opportunity to pursue the LLB with us at the Cable Campus Faculty of Law. We have a strict and a very rigorous curriculum, while at the same time the students get a UWI degree, which is a degree from a first-class education institution. We have various other opportunities for our students who enroll with us. We have student exchanges where students spend a semester at another university, University of Toronto, University of Washburn, and we're looking to expand that through other exchanges with University of Newcastle and universities from Southern Africa as well. Students have the opportunity to look at our mooting programs. Our Faculty of Law is perhaps one of the most diverse at the Cable campus, including at least 55% of our students from outside Barbados. The students are taught by who I would say are the leading experts in their fields, persons who have written books, articles, and while our level 1, first year and second year programs are compulsory, we have a wide range of courses in the third year for our students. We have a lively law society where the students engage in various activities, including the paralegal, of which you spoke earlier, and that is just a nutshell of what students, at least in the LLB program, will come to expect here at the Cable campus.
Now, I know there was some talk a few years ago about how many law students were coming out of the University of the West Indies, not only for the Barbadian market, but across the region. What are your thoughts on that, and has it changed somewhat from your position as Dean?
There will never be too many lawyers. I think what people don't understand is that not only do you have lawyers who practice in the law courts, but you have lawyers who can practice in-house. And a law degree is a foundational degree, which can lead you to business, to journalism. So there are various other fields in which persons with law degrees can work without necessarily practicing law on day-to-day. So I think that the skills that you learn as a lawyer are skills that can lead you to other professions, not necessarily law in particular. So there will never be too many lawyers, at least in my view, in the Caribbean, in particular in Barbados.
Well, I know you have a strategic plan that runs through 2027. Let's talk a little bit about some of the priority areas that are important to the faculty.
Yeah, thank you very much. The faculty in 2021 began the process of consultation, and in 2022, the approval of the university established its first ever strategic plan 2022 to 2027 under the theme promoting excellence through leadership in the Caribbean, with the following priority areas: education, which essentially revolves around the curriculum and promoting, ensuring that the integrity of the law degree is maintained, and we strengthen our pedagogy and our teaching methods. Research and entrepreneurship. The university, as Professor Beckles always says, must always engage in research. And of course, we want to not only engage in research, but we also want to bring money to the university, bring money to the faculty to ensure that we can do our various programs. Internal engagement, which is a third priority area, that's essentially ensuring that our staff are engaged and are well suited for purpose. And most importantly, external engagement. We want to ensure that we liaise with and we partner with our stakeholders, the Barbados Bar Association, regional and international organizations, and in particular the community of Barbados. And I will speak later on the plans that we have to engage with the Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean community. So
all right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the differences in the various programs as you move through the law faculty. Obviously, undergraduate and postgraduate, a little different. I think you touched on it briefly before, but to kind of outline the differences in the areas of study, as you said, you know, the first degree really can be foundational, and then once you want to specialize, you go into other areas.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Not only do we offer the law degree, the LLB degree, the first degree, we offer a wide range of taught master's programs in the LLM program, and of course we also offer the MPhil and PhD, in which we have about 4 students currently enrolled. Our LLM programs are offered online, which means that students can register from any part of the world, and the program is offered during the evenings, so which means that persons can register without necessarily having to come to Cave Hill or come to Barbados to pursue the degree. The range of programs include corporate and commercial law, which is our flagship program we started in 2000. We have the general LLM, intellectual property, legislative drafting, which we've had since the 1980s, the LLB, the UE Lefana double LLM with the University of Lefana, the LLM EMBA, which is a partnership with the Surgical Cable School of Business. And this year, for the first time, the faculty has approved and will be starting in September 2023, 2 new programs, the LLM in Competition Law and Policy and the LLM in International Dispute Resolution. So by doing that, we offer a wide range of programs. The programs are offered online. The students are registered online with persons registered from the other campuses. So in a sense, the LLM program at the Cable campus, which is a regional LLM, would provide students the opportunity of meeting persons from across the Caribbean and indeed worldwide. And more importantly, they are taught by leading faculty members who are leading researchers in their fields, and also by adjunct professors who are distinguished practitioners all across the Caribbean and internationally.
How is the faculty moving to stay in line with what's happening across the world in law and legal systems? Just this morning in our news, we heard that a court down the region is now going to be introducing an online presence where the judges can interview people and so on via, digital services. We saw a bit of this during COVID, but how is the faculty moving to stay in step with what's changing? I know when I first attended KPhil back in 1999, I started with law, but then to go into second year, the prerequisite was you had to come in first time, and at that point I was working, so I switched from law. So I recognize there have been some changes. You talked about being able to do part-time programs and so on. So speak to us about the changes over the years.
Well, the law, the LLB degree remains a full-time program, and students can register for the 3 years, and then of course afterwards they proceed to the Norman Manley or the Ewing Law School. The programs that we offer for the online program are essentially the LLM programs, and we do not necessarily have, well, we don't have an online program for the law faculty. We tried it over the last 10 years or so. I think we had an LLM part-time program for at least 5 years, but that was discontinued for a variety of reasons. So we offer the LLB full-time at the moment.
All right. Now, you mentioned briefly that you're going to talk about all the ways that you're going to be engaging with Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean in the community. I know this will be done through a number of virtual sessions.
Yes. One of the things the faculty has prided itself in over the years is ensuring that we remain relevant to the Caribbean, not only in terms of producing good quality graduates to service the legal sector in the Caribbean, but also in terms of shaping policy debates and research in various fields. The faculty has its flagship Caribbean Law Institute Center, which is essentially now wrapping up the Caribbean the Impact Justice Project, which is a 20 million Canadian dollar project, which is now it's essentially closing at the end of this month. But what the faculty has been doing in the last few years, and particularly starting in 2021, is to establish various units which essentially caters to the areas of need in the Caribbean, in particular Barbados. For example, the Law and Health Research Unit. Clearly, the issue of non-communicable diseases is a real issue in the Caribbean, and we want to ensure that the faculty is there to provide the relevant research and policy, legislative frameworks issues to address these issues in the Caribbean. So that is one way in which we contribute to an ongoing critical debate, an issue in the Caribbean and Barbados. The faculty only yesterday launched the Alternative Dispute Resolution Unit, which is carried in the newspapers this morning. The ADR unit serves to provide also that policy, legislative research framework to assist with alternative dispute resolution in the courts. And as you intimated earlier, one of the ways in which the courts have been attempting to ensure that the backlog in terms of the civil, particularly the civil matters, are addressed through alternative dispute resolution. And to the extent to which the courts in Barbados can partner with us, we'll be looking forward to making a contribution in that regard. And that unit is essentially there to serve not only Barbados, but the Eastern Caribbean and the wider Caribbean as a whole. But we're going further than that. One of the issues that is clearly in the news today is the issue of climate change. We're seeing it now with even a few days ago, where we saw that water is now being restricted. We cannot do certain things with water. We've seen the sargassum seaweed. All these issues relate to climate change and environmental issues. So we have a leading scholar in the faculty who has been engaging in that research for over a decade, and we saw it fit and ripe at this moment to establish a unit to channel all that research to assisting Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean and in terms of the wider Caribbean to bring together that legal policy research for the benefit of the Caribbean and Barbados. So these are the ways in which the faculty is not just attempting, but ensuring that it contributes in a meaningful way to issues that are relevant. Because more often than not, sometimes we have to go outside the region sometimes, but that's what UE is for. UE is there to ensure that we provide that skill set.
Most certainly.
Yeah.
Most certainly. Most certainly so. And I know you have a page for people to register for that. It is uekphil.uwi.edu/SERU/open weeks. We're going to tell you more. Out of time, Dr. Eddie Ventos, Dean of the Faculty of Law, UEK-Phil. Thank you for coming through and sharing more about the faculty. Who knows? You piqued my interest all over again in law. We'll see. I'm looking
forward to receiving your application and see you starting September 2023.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
And thank you. All right, when we come back, we get to know the Faculty of Medical Sciences a lot more. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit. testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's back to school and the hustle and bustle is real, so you definitely have to get out of the house in the early if you haven't left yet. I don't know if you're going to make it on time. And we are also going back to school today, tertiary level training this time around. We've been sharing with them over the past 2 days. We had members of the medical faculty of the UWI with us yesterday, and we have some new people who are back today. Dr. Heather Harewood, who's a lecturer of the lecturer and program coordinator for the Masters in Public Health, as well as Dr. Wendy Seeley, who's the lecturer and coordinator of postgraduate programs in nursing. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning to you, Tisha, and good morning, Barbados.
Wonderful to have you with us.
It's great to be here, and we're really happy to be having the opportunity to share with you as we celebrate 75 years of existence under the theme Rooted, Ready and Raising, but specifically for us as a campus at KFL, 60 years, and we're celebrating this under the theme Resolute and Resilient, and we think our programs should actually exemplify why these themes are relevant. So we're happy to be here this morning.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I hope that Dr. Harewood isn't jealous, but I really want to start with nursing because because I know nursing is often in the news so much. We hear so much about nursing shortages. We hear so much about nurses having to come from other places. Let's talk about the program here and what's happening with the program, to help to add to the nurses that we need, not only here in Barbados, but certainly across the region and the world.
Yes, certainly. Thank you so very much again for having us. So with respect to UEK Hill, the Masters in Nursing program was started back in September of 2018. And since then, we've graduated approximately 7 persons in that program. And usually persons would ask, well, nurses are completing a master's, but just as we support the basic level of entry into nursing, we continue to support our nurses at the advanced level, recognizing that we need to build capacity in areas of nursing education and nursing administration, specifically for the masters that we offer here. Education from the perspective that we need to prepare persons as educators to train those who are coming on in pre-service and who are going to be nurses of the future, as administrators to be able to deliver and support supervisory management in the healthcare institutions of our island and, I dare say, the region. So really it is to build capacity of those nurses who are already nurses but need to be trained up to the advanced level. Most recently, back in September of 2021, we started the postgraduate diploma in pediatric nursing, an area of specialization which was supported and it continues to be supported by the Shaw Center for Pediatric Excellence, a 7-year project, which is its main goal is to really to build capacity for pediatric care in Barbados and the Caribbean region, recognizing that we have nurses trained as generalists, but specialty care is really a focus for us and the areas of priority going forward. I forgot earlier to also mention that we've also expanded our master's program to the OACS countries, case in point, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College. We are actually preparing nurses at the advanced level as well.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. And as we continue to talk about all that's available through the faculty, I know that we're going to delve now into the master's degree that's available in public health, which serves so many different areas in the area of health. So let's talk a bit about that program and some of the other diploma programs that are offered at this level.
Yes, thanks, Tisha. So we'll start with the Masters of Public Health, as you indicated. I mean, that is I would say, the one that's most established. This would have begun in 2009 as I would say, in response to a need that was expressed by heads of government across the region, for a desire to have persons who work at the middle management level within health to be upskilled and to have competencies enhanced in certain areas such as, epidemiology, bad statistics, but also some of the behavioral sciences as well, because we recognize that public health is described as a science and is described as an art. So we want to have evidence-based approaches, but also we need to have the art side of it in terms of contextualizing our interventions for persons, which meant that it is important then to understand how people behave, what drives behavior, how can we promote health. And this program has continued, is available as either full-time or part-time study. So full-time for 1 year, part-time over 2 years. And we've been able over the years to attract persons from across the region. So we see the MPH program as being an important link across the region. And we have developed that capacity across the OECS. We've had persons from Bahamas, from Guyana. So if you want to look at how we network and strengthen public health, you can see that kind of regional footprint that the MPH at Cave Hill has contributed to. More recently, though, actually this is approximately a year ago, we launched on April 19th last year, the UE PAHO, postgraduate programs in health policy and health systems. And this was really a novel activity in the sense that we actually worked strategically with our partner PAHO, the Pan American Health Organization, to develop this course. And this arose because of the gap that COVID-19 exposed in terms of skill sets, in terms of persons who have the ability to lead and to apply governance approaches within health systems in the region, and also the need to strengthen the capacity of our persons who work in the health system to develop policy. So this program is offered in a very unique way in the sense that it is a fully online program, but it is integrated with some existing Masters of Public Health courses. So we have students from across the region right now. We have persons from Jamaica, Grenada, St. Kitts, and Barbadians as well. And what happens is that there are some courses that are fully offered online for them, but then they're able to join existing MPH courses because we do have, I would say, a state-of-the-art teleconferencing system that allows us to talk to each other, see each other in real time. And this has really enhanced the regionalism, I would say, of our program. And I think it just exemplifies the, sort of agility that UBKFL really wants to focus on in expanding our programs across the region.
Wow, it must be really difficult. I think this is one of these programs. I don't know if difficult is the word I want to use because, there will be programs that will be of a similar nature, but to be able to stay in step with what's needed at this level to provide the healthcare that's needed and then move on to study in this area must be a quite intense program for the people who are participating in the program. So, what is registration like? Are you seeing a lot of nurses moving from administration to education or vice versa? Or do you usually have nurses who move through the system, particularly strictly in education or administration and vice versa?
Thank you, Tisha, again. The idea is that there are lots of opportunities within the context of administration and education. And I remember in a past life when I worked in the public service, the idea is always for developing the career pathway of nurses beyond the basic level. And ironically, I actually saw most recently coming through from admissions department about 16 to 20 applications in the cross section for both admin and education. And I'll tell you the truth, a lot of them were extra-regional and regional, as well as local. So I think nurses, and pretty much too, there's also for re-registration, there's the Trust for Continuing Professional Education for Relationship, not only in Barbados, but certainly across the region and the globe. So the impetus is really for nurses to strengthen their knowledge and skills, but also remain current in particular areas. So the opportunities are there. We see, as I said, we see persons looking for these particular areas of expertise. But what I would also like to mention is that we are also looking at other areas of specialization. Case in point, we have an aging population, elderly population, and we want to ensure that they too have a quality of life even in that period. And we are looking to collaborate with one of our universities in Scotland with the possibility of offering a double degree in an area of nursing and dementia care, because we recognize too that these are areas of priority and we want to make sure that our public are well served with trained professionals.
Oh, that's wonderful that you you continue to be responsive. So I definitely have to say thank you on behalf of the public and people of Barbados. And of course, you get the last word to tell us why we definitely should come in and do this program that you're coordinating in public health. Who knows? I might be signing up soon for something, not this degree program, but who knows?
Well, this is a perfect question, Tisha, because public health really operates through the organized efforts of society. So anyone can be a public health advocate. So it's not just people who work in the Ministry of Health or a health-related NGO. But if you have any interest in public health, and this is actually part of the reason why the certificate program and the diploma programs were created. What I forgot to mention is that the diploma program actually comes with the opportunity to do a 3-month internship with the Pan American Health Organization. And that has really been an attractive feature for many of our students. So people have actually chosen the diploma program exclusively. And, you know, we want to encourage persons across managerial sciences, social sciences, anything that relates to health, well-being, across the spectrum from gender and socioeconomic status. So, you know, it's not just for public health persons, and we really look forward to having persons apply and to come and really strengthen their skills and to really for us to collectively strengthen our health systems and to make us more resilient, because we do recognize the health systems are very dynamic, but we're facing dynamic challenges, and we really need to build that cadre of persons across the region. So I'm encouraging applications to our program, and hopefully, Tisha, you can make that choice and join us. We've had media personnel take the MPH successfully, so we're happy to have you.
Listen, I could see people sprint into their computers now to sign up. I want to thank you for sharing. You certainly explained to us, you know, what's available in brief, and, you know, gave good insight into what's planned in the general strategic goals moving into the future. Thank you, Dr. Heather Harewood and Dr. Wendy Seeley. Have a wonderful day today.
Thank you.
As well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, coming up next, an update of the news. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade, or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
5 now after 7 o'clock, time for an update of the news. Prime Minister Mia Motley is set to meet with United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and key stakeholders on the Bridgetown agenda. Prime Minister Motley will be traveling to the United States and will be out of the country till the 27th. During her trip, she will also meet with the Prime Minister of Canada and co-chair of the Sustainable Development Goals advocates, Justin Trudeau, as well as members of the United States Congress on Capitol Hill. Deputy Prime Minister Santia Bradshaw is acting as Prime Minister while Motley is overseas. The City of Bridgetown Cooperative Credit Union Limited is in the final stages of its recovery, more than 2 months after it was hit by hackers. CEO Steve Bell says they will be relaunching their digital services like mobile and internet banking on their new and improved platform shortly. He says this is being done after their systems were hardened against cyber attacks and thoroughly reviewed by the Central Bank of Barbados. The credit union suffered what it called a cyber incident on February 14th. For several weeks afterwards, customers could only access their accounts by going into the credit union. Debit card functionality was subsequently restored, but online services remained unavailable. Mr. Bell says that is about to change.
The thing about these processes is that it takes a while because of the process you have to go through. Not only in terms of ensuring that when you bring back up the system, you bring back them in a safe and secure way, you bring that system out of them, but also in terms of getting the your regulatory authorities to be sure that you've addressed all the concerns. So before we were allowed back on to any payment platforms, we had to prove to the Central Bank of Barbados that everything was indeed fine. And you know that the Central Bank of Barbados is not going to literally just allow you to come back platform until they had taken you through a detailed process. They have analyzed all the reports, asked your consultants and yourself all the questions that need to have, so that they will be confident that when you're let back on, there's not a problem.
An international expert on oceans has been putting a positive spin on climate change in the area of fishing. The U.S. Undersecretary of Commerce for Oceans and Atmosphere, Dr. Ricardo Spinrad, notes species of fish and crustaceans are being found in areas which are not their usual geographical habitat. He explains that is why lionfish are being found in Barbadian waters. However, rather than complain, we should make the best of it. Dr. Spinrad, who was the recent guest on the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology for a special lecture on climate change, says other countries have been forced to adapt as well.
When I was in Alaska, I went to a fish processing plant in Nome, Alaska. That fish processing plant is set up for halibut, salmon, and crab. Literally set up. Their equipment is set up for that. When I went up there, on their pier, they had 300 pounds of Pacific cod. Lionfish, right? Who would have thought? These things are going to happen. But we're dealing with some issues with lobster fishing as it impacts North Atlantic right whales. And I met with one of the senators from the state of Maine, and I said to him, you know, if we just don't deal with this issue now, we won't have to deal with it in 5 years because there won't be any more lobsters in the Gulf of Maine. And the fact that Alaskan pollock are now Russian pollock, these things are happening. These things are happening. Sargassum is an example. I'm not suggesting that there's a silver lining to all of this. What I am suggesting, however, is that if we as scientists really do our jobs, collect all these data, develop the predictive capability to get out in front of these changes, we can actually benefit and prosper from the changes. So I am an avowed climate realist, which means there's an element of optimism.
And as another result of climate change, Dr. Spinrad is cautioning that the more sargassum seaweeds we see, it will reach Barbados in the coming weeks. He's encouraging the use of technology and systems to help Barbados locate that type of climate change phenomenon in order to deal with it. The administrator, who's also of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, says while there will be lots more of it in the coming weeks, within a few years, there will be another change, and the formation of the Sargassum Information Hub has been a major step in finding answers.
Everything you want to know about sargassum, it's like, you know, this is the number you call, this is where you go. If you don't even know what sargassum is, where do you start? If you are a sophisticated user and want to know what's the intensity level, what can I expect over the next weeks or months? Where's it going to be strongest? What's causing it to show up like this? Now, This gives you the information you need to know about where it's going to appear, why it might appear there. There's a deeper question here, of course, and that is what's really going on, how much of this is a climate signal or not. But again, this is, I mean, we've had sargassum inundations in the past, but this is one of those things that we've got to be prepared to be able to do as we see these changes, as we see consequences of climate change impacting things in ways that we may not have expected. I guarantee you that here in Barbados, in 10 years, we'll be talking about different issues.
As we look to sports, after the 7th and 8th rounds of the Henderson Lane Memorial Draft Tournament, Jack Francis has taken the lead from Trevor Howell. Playing at the Ruben Yami Draft Center in Lodge Road, Christchurch, Francis now leads with 23 points. Former world champion Ronald Suki King is also on 23 points, but Francis is leading via honor points over King. Howell is now in third with 22 points. Ryan Eustace and Julian Burgess round up the top 5, with both having 18 points each. Round 9 will be contested on Thursday, with the 10th and final round set for Sunday. And that's our update of news. More Morning Barbados when we return.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I know I sound like a stock record saying this, but it's already April 25th. Can you believe that? Back to school today. I know what traffic looks like when it's back to school, and if you do not have to be on the roads, do not. I know there are some people who figure, you know, I'm going on a picnic today and I can go on the road, and they're in front of you driving at 2 kilometers per hour. I mean 2. Please don't do that. If you don't have to go out, wait until you get past the morning rush for school, and then you can go on your gingerly way and go to your picnics, okay? But whatever you do, be careful. Hey, it's heading up to 15 minutes after 7 o'clock. We promised you we were going to be talking about a very important fundraiser, so we're inviting some very popular ladies in the gospel arena and beyond to come on through and share with us about what their plans are for this fundraiser. It's titled In His Embrace or Everlasting Hero. Let's say good morning to Maya Daniel and Michelle Wiggins. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Barbados.
Oh yeah, it feels like independence. Come on, we're all rocking the blue and yellow, right?
That wasn't even planned. Oh my.
All right, good to have you ladies with us. So let's talk. I'm going to start with you, Maya. It's so wonderful to see you. You know, back years and years and years. I'm trying to age you so that, you know, I take the attention off me. But I mean, you've been doing wonderful music for so many years. You've had your own journey that you've shared openly with us here in Barbados, and now you're making another step to help in other areas, which is something you've always done. So talk to us about this particular fundraiser and why it means a great deal to you to be a part of it.
Good morning, Tisha, and thanks so much again. It really is an honor and a pleasure to be in this moment with my friend Michelle. This was a totally unexpected occurrence, but all I can say to you is divine orchestration, Tisha. This was prophesied, this partnership was prophesied over our lives and ministries last year. And then when we saw how God really caused it to be manifested so easily, so effortlessly, we knew that there was more. And he spoke to us and he said, this partnership is about, advancing the kingdom through worship and service. And so in his embrace, our everlasting hero, that's the big worship aspect of it. And the service aspect is giving back to this wonderful community of persons, led by none other than Miss Shamel Rice, Jabez House. And we admire the work that Shamel does. And we really want to bless Jabez House and everything that Michelle and I do in this partnership going forward in his embrace will be focused on worship and service. So we're just starting with Jabez House because we believe it performs a very important function in the society, and we believe that they are worthy of our support.
Well, Michelle, you can just pick up where Maya left off because she pretty much handed the baton to you to talk about this partnership and all you're doing.
Listen, it has been fantastic so far. We are just excited to share the message of, what it is like to be in God's embrace. I mean, personally, we have experienced what it is, and we just want to share that with whoever comes into our sphere, our communities, the nation of Barbados, and certainly on that night, especially in those difficult moments that we are facing, daily. Just want people to understand what it is to feel the intimacy of God, to feel his comfort, his peace. That's what we feel in his embrace. And so we have on this night, some wonderful persons that are going to be joining with us and sharing this with us. We have a wonderful, huge band that's going to be there, led by Petra Welch. We have fantastic support singers, a group of women. They're awesome. And we're going to be joining with us. We're going to have Raphael Saul. We're going to have Jaco Lawrence and Pearls Dance Academy, Fabian McDowell. We're just going to have an awesome time, and we're looking to share this with us. It's going to be great.
Listen, yes. you ladies had my interest when I saw you two were there, and then you said Raphael Saul, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then you said Jaco Lawrence, and I'm like, no, I have no choice. I have to go now. But let's look beyond what's happening and the fact that you are supporting a charity which really supports women. And it's great to see that you as gospel artists are banding together. So part proceeds will go to Jabez House. They're doing phenomenal work to help women who might be victims of human trafficking or women who have worked in the area of prostitution and other areas too, but mostly in those areas to help them to transition to relatively normal lives and help their children and so on. So this really is a commendable thing that you are doing. So talk to us about when it comes off and how we can get involved, where we can get our tickets, if they're tickets, and come out and support this very worthy presentation.
All right, Tisha, it's just a few days away. The countdown is on. It's on Sunday, April 30th, 6 p.m. Restoration Ministries on Britton's Hill. That's Gunsight Road, Britton's Hill. Tickets are available at Things Gospel, Canary Lane Mall, and also in upstairs Massey in Warrens. Also Carlton Supermarket on Black Rock. And then there's Visual Oasis. Yes, in Emerald City Complex in 6 Roads, and ticketlinks.com. So we've made them available a number of outlets. And of course, if you want to do it from the comfort of your home, there's ticket links. So go on out and get your tickets. Do not be disappointed. There will never be another first, Tisha. This is the first big thing that we're doing, and we want to see all of you there. And you want to be able to say, I was there at that very first one. You remember when? Remember when they did that first one? I was in the room. You want to be there. It's going to be very special. So we invite all of Barbados to come and join us for this wonderful evening.
Okay, well, let's jump in quick about this new music, because I know there's some new music as well. I don't know if the plan is to get some of this new music in at the concert too. So tell us about that quickly.
Definitely. I mean, like I said, this is newness. This is a new season. Maya is out on the, out in the forefront. She has a song that's already out there on the airwaves. It's called "I Am Here," and there'll be some other music in there coming from myself. And we have a new song together, so be sure to be in there. We have some originals, new stuff coming. So, and then some favorites that we all know that we can sing along and just worship together. Have a great time.
All right, this is just me. This is just me being a girl. But I saw this poster with this fantastic, fabulous dresses and all the drama, and I was thinking all of this for this fantastic concert. But now I know that you have a song together. Maybe that's from that song.
Oh yeah.
But looking gorgeous as usual.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much, Tisha. We want people to come and be comfortable. Yes, come and be comfortable. Come ready to worship, and so on. But we're going to be. I would say, Michelle, we're going to be glamorous sometimes, casual at some points. We're going to mix it up for you.
Casual, glamorous.
Yes. So you'll see the many sides of Maya and Michelle. All right, and what being in His embrace looks like. All right, on our faces, on the glow, everything. All right, but you come and be as comfortable as you would like, and just come ready to have a great time in the Lord.
I can't trust women who look like that on posters telling me they're going to be casual. I have to go glam all the time. But I want to thank you ladies for coming through and sharing. You're hearing the new music in the background. And I want to thank you for, continuing your philanthropic work, continuing God's work as well. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Thank you so much, Tisha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Gospel artists Maya Daniel and Michelle Wiggins coming through to share with us this morning, of course talking about their fantastic work and a wonderful concert that's coming up. Part proceeds in aid of Jabez's House, so if you can, make sure you go on out and get those tickets and be a part of it. It's going to be on Sunday, April 30th from 6 p.m. at Restoration Ministries, an evening of inspiration and powerful worship and ministry and song, dance, spoken word, you name it. So make sure you go on out and support this worthy cause. When we come back, we tell you about more wonderful work being done by the Lions Club. Stay with us.
Holy One, Savior, King of the world, reigning in a...
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think.
Morning to you.
Good morning. It's a fantastic Tuesday. Did you see how the sky looked yesterday? Was it just me? I don't know. Call and tell my producer so that I'm sure that I'm not just the only person who thought that outside looked a little weird. I don't know. The clouds were sitting very low, and I encountered a lot of mist and low-lying clouds on my way to work. But you know, we had some rain, yes, but definitely had some weird-looking cloud cover. I don't know if you saw that too, or it was just in St. Philip. You know, St. Philip is a little weird sometimes. Good morning to all of the Philippines. All right, so we promised that we were going to telling you all about a celebrity cricket match, and we have two ladies who are coming in to share with us this morning. Lion Marie Stella Marcial Dubaya Nichols, quite the name. Also with us is Lion Alison Bishop Payne. And they're here to tell us all about a celebrity match. I see that Lion Alison Bishop Payne is a lion tamer, so she's going to have to qualify that. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, Tisha. Good morning, Barbados.
Good to have you ladies with us. And again, last interview I had to say it looks like Independence. So, you know, we are we're definitely channeling that. All right,
you
so
all
let's
look beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. You too as well. You do as well. All right, so let's talk about the Lions Club of Christchurch West having this celebrity cricket match. Let's start with you, Lion Marie Stella.
Good morning, Tisha. Good morning, Barbados. Thank you for having us on. We are quite happy and excited. This is actually second celebrity charity cricket match. It came about due to the fact that when we were thinking of working within the community, we decided that cricket usually brings everybody together. And it was a task having to do it because it was just on the heel of COVID. And we know that it was people to come out and, you know, a lot of different things were in place that you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that. However, at that time, we realized the importance of trying to raise funds for to us, especially me, which was at the time pediatric cancer. And it was challenging at some point, but with the help of Corporate Barbados and friends of the Lions and the Lions themselves, we were able to get that first inaugural match going. And we had a very nice turnout. It was a dampened day because we did have some rain. I realized the broadcast for this week is that we're going to expect some more rain up till Thursday. So it was just uncanny hearing that. But we managed to get the first match on. And at that point, we had our first winners, which was under the auspices of West Indian Pedro Collins UWI team. They were our winners for that first match. And when we reached out to UWI once more, they were jumping on the bandwagon and they said they're going to get back at us and, of course, try to win the trophy again. So it was a lot of fun, and we were able to make our donation to the Barbados Cancer Society to two well-deserving children who really needed the assistance at the time.
Well, that's wonderful, and it's great that you're back with this second cricket match. I know the proceeds are to go toward, you know, a few initiatives that you support on a yearly basis. So Lion Alison, the Lion Tamer, tell us all about that.
Yes, please. Good morning again, and good morning, Barbados. The position of Lion Tamer is a little bit more exciting. It sounds more exciting than it really is. The Lion Tamer, all we do is are responsible for the property of the club and make sure that we keep it in good repair and that we know where it is. But it sounds really good. I'm not going to
take on what you just told me. I'm just going to continue to think in my head what a Lion Tamer does in the Lions Club.
Okay, sure. Yes.
All right, so tell us about all these various charities, these various entities that you support through these fundraising efforts.
Yes, so the 5 pillars that we support as Lions hunger, cancer, environment, vision, and diabetes. So we work with the Diabetes Association. We do diabetes screening. We also work with the eye clinic at the Winston Scott Polyclinic. We make donations to them, also to the eye outpatient department at the QBH. We've made donations to senior citizens. We work with them in the community. We try to take the seniors out on bus rides and on Senior Citizens Day. We'd like to go to the Senior Citizens Home and maybe do a soup day and make these seniors feel good. So we go out into the community and do several projects. And as Marie said, we make donations to the Cancer Society. We've made donations to the Cancer Support Services. Any area of greatest need is what we do. So we are hoping that people will come out on Friday and show their support for all these worthy causes.
All right, so it's a holiday, so people really have no excuse to come out. Lion, Marie, Stella, tell us more about the setup on the day, what we can expect. I know when you put particularly Barbadian men, I say that without reservation, who've maybe played cricket to secondary level, they're like, I make runs, I'm a bowler. So I think it's going to be a really exciting cricket celebrity match. Who can we expect to see? Are you going to be name dropping?
Well, as Alison would always say, anytime you're looking for Lion Mary, you would always find her somewhere close to a cricket field. And for those who are even part of our Lions team, know me because I'm well associated close to YMPC. That's a stomping ground for me. Two of the players that we are going to miss would be Fidel Edwards, who obviously is playing in the IPL series. He was the captain for our team, and Dwayne Smith, who is unavailable because he's also playing in another tournament. And we all know Dwayne Smith is a big hitter. And he is from YMPC as well as Fidel Edwards, unlike Pedro Collins, who is from Wanderers. But you never know, you may see me on the field. I might be either the bowler or the batswoman.
What?
However,
they call you batters now, batters. So they're batters, no longer batsmen, it's batters.
Batters, yes. However, in the inaugural, we were fortunate to have the Carrington twin girls, who are not available. They are actually studying in Canada. And we were very happy to have females with us on the field playing for our Lions team. This time around, it's a bit different. The mixture we had last year, we do have some returning that are playing with us. And inside of the Pedro Collins 11, I'm going to quickly say who there are. Quite a lot of young ones, some returning. Dominique August, Aaron Daly, John Delaney, Daniel Wiggins, David Ross, Rondell Griffith, Azar Williams, Shane Lewis, Pedro Graves, Calvin Watson, Grayson Cuffey, Shaquille Phillips, and of course, our one and only Mr. Pedro Collins. For the Lions Club of Christchurch West, we've had to tweak some of our players. The returning players would be Mr. Pedro Agard. I'm sure that most persons are familiar with Pedro. Ian Bradshaw, Corey Cox, Laurie Worrell, who is the brother of Corey Worrell, Ronald Ronnie Clark, Richard Green, Jude Clark, formerly known as Hee Haw. Of course, we have from YMPC, Wendell Coppin, who is the coordinator at BCA. We have Mr. Ruddy Eswick, and we have Henderson Springer and Dequan Kwan, Barbados's king of 2022, Aline, and we have our lone female who has just been called to play in the series that's coming up from the 4th of May, Trishan Holder. That's a big team, and we're hoping that this team would put the UWI Pedro Collins team at a different distance come Friday evening at 7 p.m. So that's a tall order, and I may be the second female batter in that team, Tisha.
Listen, it's unfortunate that you guys have said that all bets are off, because my money would definitely be on the Lions team. It sounds like you're going to clean up the Lions share. I definitely want to see that. So it's coming up on Heroes Day, the 28th. It's at Dover Field, and you get started at what time?
The fun begins at 6, but the battle will be at 7 p.m.
All right, final words for you, Lion Allison.
Yes. So I'm hoping to see Barbados come out and support this worthy cause. The Lions, as we said, we work in the community and we serve the areas of greatest need. So if there's somebody in the community who needs help, they can always reach out to us. We have 9 Lions clubs in Barbados, of which Christchurch West is one, and 3 Leo clubs. And of course, we are always looking for more Lions. So, Tisha, if you're looking to give back, we are looking for you.
Rawr!
See, you sound like a lion already.
I sound like a lion already.
I'm sure Tisha has been told that more than once, actually.
Yes. For sure. I know I said last word, but, you know, just to reminisce a bit, I remember coming through the years, I was always so impressed to see Lions out and about, and you guys would be at every major event working at the doors. And, you know, it's just really great to see that you're still around all these years doing such wonderful work for the people of Barbados. So thank you so much to all the Lions clubs and to you guys for, you know, your selfless work.
Thank you.
And we want to also thank you, Tisha, and your team for welcoming us on, because, you know, without you, we would not be able to reach out to the community and those within our surrounding communities. We want to thank everyone, all of our sponsors who are going to be with us. Our champion sponsors would be BTMI, Student Loan Revolving Fund, and AVG Investments in Chicken Bar. This event going on, and we thank God to having them with us, because we know that they are also playing their part in giving back to the community.
Thank you so much, Lions Marie, Stella, and Lion Allison for coming through and sharing with us. And just a little smile before we go. You know, I always like to smile. They know that's me. The celebrity cricket match coming up, the Pedro Collins UE 11 versus the Christchurch West Lions. And they have to stay raw at the end. We'll see how that goes. April 28th. And the fun starts at 6 o'clock. They're going to get out in the middle by 7. So go on out to Dover Cricket Grounds for that. I think it's going to be an exciting time to be had by all. And I just had to say this to Lion, Marie, Stella, Martial, Dubaya, Nichols. I'm so glad that they've done away with, you know, when you're doing the forms, the little boxes that you have to fill out, you would definitely run out of squares.
But remember, Tisha, we have 5 last names on the show this morning. There are 5. I have 3. Allison has 2. So we're having fun.
We just have to
add 1 on.
We'd have to give you some extra boxes. All right, ladies, have a good one, and I wish you all the best for the match.
You too, thank you. We're looking to see you, Tisha.
I'll be out there for sure. I'll be out there for sure. Bat in hand.
Awesome.
All right.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Okay,
Have
bye-bye.
a wonderful day.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're telling you all about a church in St. Lucie doing some wonderful work in the community as well. It's back to school, so make sure you get out there, get on the road, but be careful. Hey, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches a
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so we're having a good morning, and usually we have the next chapter where we tell you about authors from not only here in Barbados, but authors from across the Caribbean and indeed across the world. So I certainly hope you have been paying attention, because we are going to do a book giveaway at this time, just in time for back to school. So encouraging you to get back to reading. Some people, you know, since you've left school, a book has not graced your hand to look at it. So we want to make sure that you get back into reading, which is why we are doing these fantastic segments of Morning Barbados and introducing you to wonderful local authors and, you know, Caribbean authors and authors from around the world, some of the best books that are out there, particularly in the area of self-care. So this morning we are doing a giveaway of a wonderful book. Now, if you want to get in with a chance, Joanna is going to come give me the book so I can show you this book. Hey, Magic of TV, here it is. All right, so this particular book is called The Diamond Mentality, Living the Worry-Free Life. And I would have spoken with Tyrone Boyce someday. Now, I want to know how attentive you have been, because on which day is the question. On which day did author Tyrone Boyce appear right here on Morning Barbados to talk about his book, this book? Which day did he come on to talk about this book? It's called The Diamond Mentality, Living the Worry-Free Life. This copy can be yours. It's a wonderful book, and you'll thoroughly enjoy it. So call us up, 228-5562, 228-5563, and tell me which day Tyrone Boyce was on to tell us all about this book. I will give you a clue. It was in the month of April. So that is pretty simple. So again, 228-5562 and 228-5563. He says, most people desire a happy, peaceful life. What's the use of being wealthy and having loads of worry and anxiety? You can't really enjoy your wealth if you are robbed of your happiness. It's a really great read. It's a quick read too. You know, it really is a page turner. I'm told somebody's on the line. Good morning. Welcome. Oh, somebody hung up on me. Okay, call back. 228-5562 or 228-5563 and get in there. Which date did author Tyrone Boyce appear right here on Morning Barbados to talk about his book, this wonderful book, The Diamond Mentality, Living the Worry-Free Life? Let's head back to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, how do you do?
Hello.
Can't hear you.
Yes, please. I can hear you.
All right, so tell me, do you have the answer to the question? Which day did Tyrone Boyce appear?
Last week, Thursday.
Last week, Thursday. No, I'm going to give you one more chance. Guess again.
Last week, Friday.
No, you're too late in the week. I hope you're not late for school, though.
Yes, please. I already have on my clothes.
Oh, good. Which school are you heading off to?
St. Mary's Primary School.
St. Mary's Primary School. You probably don't need this book because it's about the worry-free life, and school life is a worry-free life. Are you excited to go see all your friends?
Yes, please.
Oh, have a great day at school. Be productive, okay, and be good to the teachers and your friends. Thanks for calling me. All right. So we have 2 days out of the question. It wasn't Thursday. It was not Friday. So you still have an opportunity. You are in with a chance to win this book. Yes, you can't say that I never gave you anything. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Somebody's on the line. Welcome. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good.
Where are you calling me from?
Regency Parks, Christchurch.
All right, Christchurch. Do you have the answer? Which day did Tyrone Boyce come on to talk with me about his book called Diamond Mentality?
Last week, Wednesday.
Last Wednesday, you said?
Yes, please.
Try again.
Last week, Tuesday.
No, unfortunately, it wasn't Tuesday. It was not Wednesday. Where are you heading off to school?
Luther Thorn.
Luther Thorn. Good morning to everybody from Luther Thorn. What class are you in?
Pardon me?
What class are you in?
Class 2.
Class 2. Have a great day back to school in class 2, okay? Be good today.
Thank you.
And thanks for calling. Bye-bye. All right, all the little ones are calling me. I love it. All right, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are definitely off the table, and we know it wasn't yesterday, which was Monday. It most certainly wasn't today. Let's see if the next caller can guess which day it was. I don't know. Let's go out to the phone line. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. All right, I can't hear the caller so well, so I'm going to need some help from my technical crew.
Good morning.
Can you guess? Good morning. Can you guess which day Tyrone Boyce came on to talk about the book?
It was last Monday.
By a process of elimination, of course, you win. So congratulations. Where's the applause in the background? Yes, there it is. That's right, Monday, April 17th. All right, so stay on the line. My producer, Alicia Els Grant, is going to take your information, and you will walk away with this wonderful book. Yeah, it's about taking care of yourself and moving past any and everything to make sure that your life is worry-free. All right, when we come back, we are telling you about more community work. Stay with me.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, 11 minutes down to go before 8 o'clock. The time just goes by so quickly. Sometimes I don't even realize how quickly it's going by. But we promised that we were going to take you to St. Lucie vicariously through Reverend Rico Griffith of the Bennett's Temple United Holy Church and tell you all about what will be happening at that church. They have something wonderful coming up, so we're going to share that with you. But I want to remind you before we go to that special session about something we are doing here at the CBC, and more specifically through Morning Barbados. That's right. It's about the Mom's Proud Moment promotion. And you have an opportunity to send in your videos. There must be a minimum of 60 seconds and they can't exceed 90 seconds. Submissions were open from the 21st and they run through the 25th. So you have until the 25th to get those videos in. Now, what we're asking you to do is submit a video of you and your children showing those wonderful moments as this picture on the screen depicts. It can be at a graduation, at a birth, whatever you deem to be one of the proudest moments for you as a parent. And I know that will mean different things to different people. You absolutely can get that video in with us. 60 seconds the least, 90 seconds at most. And then we're going to post these videos that you share with us to our social media pages. And between May 2nd and 5th, we get our people in to vote and see which ones touch them most. We'll announce the winner on May 9th and a special prize. The special prize will be given just in time for Mother's Day. Now, if you're wondering what you're going to win, it's a fantastic lunch for mom and four. Not just mom and four at the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel on Mother's Day. And you know the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel is a very beautiful spot, so you have no reason to not get involved. It's as simple as just sharing some of those old photos, a nice montage, or a wonderful video of that very, very special moment. Now you can WhatsApp your submissions to 467-5465 via email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. So two options. You can either email morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and that's morning without the G, MORNIN, barbados@cbc.bb, or by WhatsApp to 467-5465. I also have to say a special thank you to all the people who have sent their entries in for the Big Bajan Bake Off. It is back. The Big Bajan Bake Off started again for season 2 on Friday, so you can watch out for another edition coming up this coming Friday night as well, where you get to see the prowess of the Bajan baker. How about that? So let's head on over to St. Lucie now. We have the Good Reverend coming in to share with us, and he is going to tell us all about a fantastic initiative that's coming up at a church, a community church in St. Lucie. Reverend Rico Griffith is joining us from Bonnet's Temple United Holy Church. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Tisha. Good morning, Barbados.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. So talk to us about this initiative that you have coming up on Saturday, 29th of April. It's always wonderful to see churches reaching into the community and getting their membership to talk about things like health, particularly men.
Yes. We are pleased to partner with Cancer Support Services this coming Saturday, April the 29th. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the sanctuary at the Bennett's Temple Church to have PSA screening done via blood tests. And we are inviting all the men from the north to come on out and have their screening done. So we are located in Pike Corner, St. Lucie, at the corner of Little Bay and Cove Bay. You can easily find us if you put our name in Google Maps. It will lead you directly there. And certainly we are excited to offer this initiative to the men in the north this coming Saturday.
Why do you think it was necessary at this time to get your membership and by extension the wider community involved at this level, to have the church invite them to come out and do the PSA testing?
Well, one of our key focuses as a mission as a church is to provide holistic ministry. And this goes beyond the teaching of the Bible and church as we know it, but to provide holistic ministry to mankind in general, which includes our health as well. And when we look at the statistics, even as I looked at the most recent ones that are available on the World Health Organization's website up to 2020, we recognize that, prostate cancer is one of the leading cancers that men in Barbados are faced with. And so we thought it quite appropriate to offer our men this opportunity to be tested, because we recognize that early detection is always the best protection. And we see this as a God-given opportunity that we can partner with Cancer Support Services to highlight our men and provide this avenue that they can be tested.
Now, I know that we often say it and we don't follow through as much as we should. The wealth of a nation is truly the health of a nation. It's great to see that you're involving our men at this level. There's always been much discussion about men not necessarily making that move to take care of their health. And there's been some apprehension over the years about the full exam for the prostate, but what you're administering this weekend is the blood test. So you're doing the PSA blood testing for men to come out. So there should be no apprehension at all. Now, from where you sit as Reverend, do you find that your congregation, the men in your congregation and the men at large in the community are as into taking care of their health as much as they should?
Well, to be honest with you, sometimes men can put themselves at a disadvantage, looking after everybody else, their family, or and not themselves. I know that we often put ourselves last, and we just want to encourage men to take some time out to look after ourselves, look after our health. We sometimes shy away from going to the doctor to have certain examinations done, but as you rightfully highlighted, that this Saturday it is not going to be quite invasive. It's just a little stick blood test, and the results will be provided by the Medilab, who is working with Cancer Support Services. And so, yes, we tend to find men sometimes shy away from looking after themselves, but we want to encourage men to put themselves first. And this is one of the ways that we want to help them put themselves first in terms of detecting any abnormalities with the PSA screening.
Yeah, and I know that we have some very high incidences of prostate cancer in Barbados. So we definitely need to have our men get in there and do the testing. So again, it's this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the church in collaboration with Cancer Support Services. I'm sure there is going to be some other action going on in the general area to attract members of the community to come as well.
Yes, we would have shared this information at large in the St. Lucie and northern community. I am aware as well as there's St. Lucie Independence activity further down in St. Lucie. So we even want to encourage at the St. Lucie Parish Church grounds, we want to even encourage those men to come, step away and come. It will not be long. Certainly, I am assured that the team will be working very quickly to have the process done. And so we look forward to a very good turnout on Saturday. We are calling all the men from St. Andrews, St. Peter, St. James, and the north.
Surrounding area.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And you have the typical St. Lucie name, Reverend Rico Griffith, Bennett Temple, United Holy Church. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, head on out Saturday to the church. Now, coming up tomorrow on Morning Barbados, Dr. the Most Honorable Anthony Gabby Carter, Cultural Ambassador to Barbados, singer, songwriter, griot extraordinaire. He's going to be live on set with us to chat about 75 Not Out. That is coming up, his show on April 28th. We also chat with Romero Lashley on the topic, should the 11 plus exam be abolished? That will be very, very interesting. President Nicholas Roberts joins us as we talk HR with Hermab on the topic, the landscape of HR, today's trends, and we continue to look at the faculties of law and medical sciences as they celebrate their open weeks respectively. This and so much more is coming up tomorrow on Morning Barbados. So don't forget today to wear your smiles. Have a great day back to school to the little ones. And for you, come on back to me tomorrow. For now, bye-bye.
wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.